you awkward.
Oh, you know, I don't think you have
I'm no Admiral Bulldog, though.
I don't think you have to try to make me awkward.
How do I smell?
I don't really smell anything, but...
So this will be the second team that goes home, as you said.
Yeah.
Most people will probably say MVP Phoenix are the big underdogs, and that's to no surprise. 84-16 odds, so we're looking at 6-1 underdogs. I think that's about reasonable. MVP Phoenix, they haven't yet won any games, but they put up a decent fight versus the 3 teams that they played thus far.
Yeah.
It was, what, Empire,
Navi, DK, and Alliance.
Not DK. Empire, Alliance,
and DK. They were in the same.
Oh, they were. Oh, okay. They got wrecked by DK.
They got wrecked, yeah. But all the games, I have to say, all the games were longer than 30 minutes. All the games, they got kills.
A lot of, like, DK didn't play the same way versus them than they did other teams.
No, I know. I mean, even Ice said in an interview with Cyborg Matt that he fed often. So,
but there's a difference between feeding and like feeding intentionally. It was like almost intentional feed at that point.
I don't think he didn't meant it to be intentional, but yeah, I mean the games have been longer than I thought they would. I actually think that they are not as dark of a horse as they might appear right now.
They're a pretty big dark horse. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, even if they win this game, they have to play the winner of Alliance EG, and then after that they have to play whoever loses.
That's on the floor, but...
What's on the floor?
The thing that's supposed to be over your microphone.
No, whatever. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, going to the draft. MVP Phoenix, they pick slightly untraditionally. They do run some heroes such as Slark mid. They do run Death Prophet. Those heroes we haven't really seen too much. They really also like Disruptor. But as far as this ban draft goes, they also really like targeted bans. So we saw them ban out Centaur versus DK, which I don't think that any team has done. And I also think that IG should take a lesson from them and ban Centaur.
Yeah.
And they also banned Chen versus Navi, which I think is... I actually don't know about that because Chen... We haven't seen too many junglers have that big of an impact in the game, except for the Enigma from DK. Yeah,
we've seen Poppy play Chen this tournament before, but I don't think it's important enough to give it a first ban, respect ban.
Or what else would you ban instead? Naga, maybe?
I would probably ban Naga instead, but you know, that's easy to say because that's hindsight talking. So.
Well, I think the big 3 are Lycanthrope, Ember Spirit, and Naga, but it always depends on the team. Some teams don't run Naga as effectively. We saw IG kind of fail pretty hard with Naga yesterday. Some teams don't run Ember as effectively either. Yeah. So I think it does depend on the team, but I think Navi can play all 3. And Batrider too. Also, like, Batrider is just...
Yes.
You have to ban Batrider versus Navi. Or actually Navi, they were second pick and they decided to ban it out themselves.
Well, one of the strongest games this tournament from Navi has been with the Naga Siren after they saw how EG played with it. They played with the Naga Siren and they wrecked. They put Dendi mid with Naga Siren and they basically copied what EG was doing. I'm really curious to see if they're going to do the same thing here again. But
why not?
They've been so different, like versatile with their drafts about having Dendi on Naga Siren mid or having a Vost on Naga Siren somewhere else.
But it's not what we see them play a lot. It's kind of like S4 playing Naga yesterday. It takes them out of the comfort zone because Dendi's usually getting kills, controlling the pace of the game, dominating the person in mid, and Naga's just not that type of hero. She controls the game, but in a much different way. So he apparently has played it before, and he did it very successfully yesterday. I'm just not sure if that's Navi's forte, but it is very good that they are versatile and can run a bunch of different strats. And Naga Siren mid is probably one of the best strats in 6.80 right now.
Yeah, and having a puck there with Navi as well. I mean, they're not giving anything away about what they're actually going to do. I mean, we've seen Dendi play puck, Funnick plays puck. I'm hoping for a Funnick puck because that was really enjoyable to watch. For MVP Phoenix, Nyx Assassin, that's the second time we see him today. Well, he's been ignored for the rest of the tournament a little bit, so I'm kind of interested to see that again. But I am also thinking Shadow Demon, Luna, Dazzle, aggressive tri-lane.
To shut down whom, though? It's
maybe to shut down the Naga, because with a Tinker pickup.
The thing about it is, like, you probably won't be able to kill the Naga. She is actually a decently defensive hero. You can use Mirror Image to dispel debuffs. You can just use them to farm and stack. You can Riptide from a small range to get CS. She has very high base armor, so she's actually very difficult to kill. And they can pick a defensive support as their last one. They could just pick something as easy as, let's say, Abaddon. Rubik, just anything that can kind of save her from that. But it does look like it is going to be a... I don't actually know. Well, most likely, what, Puck offlane, Tinker mid, maybe swap?
That would, like, Tinker mid, Puck offlane, I would agree with that one, and then put Naga Siren on the safe lane and get some other support to go with that Ancient Apparition. Rubik comes to mind, as they have been playing that combination quite a bit. I actually, I'm a bit uncertain about picking Dazzle into an Ancient Apparition. Doesn't happen often, it happens sometimes, and he's still, of course, nice with the Grave, and it can actually save you from Ancient Apparition in a way. But it's interesting to see him picked into basically a counter heal hero.
He is one of the strongest supports, though, and he does synergize very well with the Shadow Demon, so I can understand why they want to pick it. But I think if they run Nyx Assassin in the off lane, and Nyx Assassin isn't really going to get anything. He can just dive very easily.
Nyx Assassin against Puck. Also not one of the easiest matchups for him.
It is not. Puck has been dominating a lot of his matchup. Funnick did First Blood, YYF's Nature's Prophet in the Na'Vi IG game, so that's nothing to scoff at. And they do have to have kind of a solution for that. The solution that we saw yesterday with Batrider, but there's no Batrider this game.
No Batrider removed.
There's nothing to lock him down. Like, Nyx is very unreliable against a Puck, and none of the other heroes have any disables. Well, Lucent Beam and whatnot, but all these are very poor for a Puck. And if they can't control the Puck, I think Puck's going to control them.
Well, talking about control, Na'Vi, I mean, they've got quite a bit of control actually going on with the Ensnare. Cold Feet can, of course, proc off of Ensnare if we're going to assume that they are going to be on the same lane. And it would be very scary, like, for any of the heroes so far, even if it's an aggressive trial for MVP Phoenix.
I think they should have taken Invoker a long time ago. That will actually be the last ban out from Na'Vi. And Nyx Assassin does decently versus Tinker, but that's about the only hero that I think he's actually good against in this particular draft.
What do you think for Storm for MVP Phoenix? We've seen Kuro play quite a good Storm, amazing.
Yeah, it would have been good.
Banned out.
But
never mind. Yeah.
So I guess it's going to be a Doom mid. Nyx Assassin, I would hope it's going to be safe lane. I think if it's off lane, I think Na'Vi is just much better at out-greeting, too, in the early game. Like, if they do Nyx Assassin offlane, it's just going to be passive 10 minutes. I think Na'Vi will get a lot more because they'll have Tinker, BOTs, and that'll just stall for Naga to get into the late game, and that's generally enough.
What would you say about Doomsafe and Nyx mid?
Doomsafe, Nyx mid, that's also not bad. I don't think either of them match up particularly well. Nyx Assassin isn't going to be able to shut down a Tinker. That might be a little bit better in terms of mid-game control, though. Nyx Assassin should probably hit level 6 a little bit easier in the mid lane, and he has better access to Rune. It's on shut down the aggro mid, or if they want to gear more towards being Doom her in the late game and just get a lot of farm on Doom. Oh.
Fizz's last pick. That's going to be last pick for Na'Vi. I'm not 100% sold on the hero. I mean, they obviously know what they're doing. They're Na'Vi, but I would have liked to see something with the disable, because even though the slow from Visage can potentially set up for a Cold Feet proc.
You don't need disables. They have so much damage. They have Riptide, they have Chilling Touch, they have Puck with his massive burst, they have Tinker with March and Rocket, they have Visage with Soul Assumption. So they don't have that much to disable, but a good way is just tons and tons of, not terribly difficult to get off all that damage either. So I'm trying to think if they have like any very excellent setup with Naga Siren. Oh, actually, the Naga Siren Tinker is a little bit underrated too. You just sleep, you drop a double march, and the other team absolutely has to run away. You cannot fight in double march, or you will almost certainly lose the fight. And on top of that, they have an AA ultimate. Everyone's just going to die, and it doesn't matter if you do after that because there's already double march going on.
That is very true. That would be very scary. So far for MVP, their struggle in games have been that they have not been winning any.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is very real. They have not won any laning stage in Star Ladder LAN finals.
But maybe it's to lull the opponent into a false sense of security. These guys are noobs. Let's just crush them. Let's fountain camp them. Let's dive their T3s. And I think a lot of people get that over zealousness.
Yeah. And I mean, how insane would it be if MVP Phoenix is able to knock Na'Vi out in the first round of the loser bracket in basically their own.
I think a lot of people would be unhappy. A lot of rares would be lost. Vilot said that he was hoping that MVP Phoenix would win, but I don't think he actually hopes that.
Oh, I like March taking that microphone away from Vilot every time he answers.
Give me that damn microphone.
Yeah. That's good. We're gonna have March on stream, by the way, later on today as well, so it'll be interesting to pick his brain. But so far, I mean, they are going to be playing an elimination match against Na'Vi, best of one. We've got ourselves MVP Phoenix sitting on the dire side for this best of one with Na'Vi on the Radiant side. Taking a look at who is playing which hero. We have March playing the Doom.
Wait, is it Shadow Demon mid? Oh, okay, they're doing the thing. Never mind. Go ahead.
The
thing where they wait for Doom to get the 30-second creep and rotate a support in mid to get the first wave.
Yeah, he's already, March will be mid, actually. And actually, that comes back to the interview, because he said that he has won from Dandy in mid while practicing all the matches.
Whatever. I take that with a grain of salt. It's practice.
Well, Heen is playing the Shadow Demon so far, soaking up some experience until the Doom comes around. We've got ourselves already Nyx Assassin in some danger. Foray will play that one here on the offlane for the moment. Don't think that anything is going to happen right now, but lane is pushing out slightly, so we'll see. On the top lane, it is a dual lane coming out for MVP Phoenix. Raisin will be playing the Dazzle, and Kuo will be on the Luna here, farming it up on the safe lane.
I actually think March has been one of the weaker players in MVP. They both had some weak plays, like QO we saw on the Slark just like die a lot, but his death profit notably was very poor. I think he just got caught out way too often, and I know March a little bit personally. I don't think he's the strongest mid player. Definitely a little bit weaker than Dendi, but see how that goes. He does have a furball creep to his name. That is nice. Hellbear, whatever.
Well, and it looks like they're having Shadow Demon around. I mean, he's not really needed up top. At the moment, Dazzle can do a good job zoning Funnick out, and he's been doing an okay job for that. Gets a bit of harassment in return sometimes.
He's not getting anything done in mid, though. Like, you can't zone out a Tinker with a Shadow Demon in Doom. I think he should just be stacking for Luna later, maybe potentially threatening a kill on top against the puck. Like, if he orbs out, you can kind of disrupt him so he can't jaunt, and then maybe go for a kill there. But as it stands right now, I guess he can control runes, which is pretty nice. Maybe even deny this Ancient Sack. This is really important. Tinker Radiant is much stronger than Tinker Dire because of the access to Ancient Stack. Usually you need a support to stack it, which is what's happening right now, but you can actually stack it yourself. So Heen will pick up a... Oh, this is dangerous for Puppy. He might actually die here.
Soulcatcher comes out. I mean, he's level 2. He has a disruption as well if he wants to go for it. There he goes. There's no help coming out, but perhaps he can do it by himself. Puppy is in some trouble. He's going to eat a tree. Going to get some help also from Funnick, and this could actually turn around real quickly. Cold, so Chilling Tide rather coming out as well. First blood will be spilled right there, and it goes to Funnick on his puck. Puppy lives.
It pays to know your way around the trees. You can eat this one tree here and have this very nice pattern over here. And Puck was moving into here to block him in case Shadow Demon was trying to go for that kill too. I think he could. He should have played it a little bit better. I think instead of like running down over here, with the disrupt right here, he could have like stood over here to try and block his movement with the haste. But instead, he tried to cut off his path of retreat, and Puppy just outsmarted him with that nice tree maneuver to the left. That should have been first blood MVP.
Yes. Do you think it could have? Yeah, it could have.
It should have.
Should have.
But outskill, yeah.
Hindsight talk.
Nah, it's not hindsight. It should have been first blood. Heen. It's nice though. He's trying to make plays. He almost got Puppy, but any other rune he wouldn't have been able to do that. So I can understand Puppy's risk reward there.
Yeah, and of course it was actually Funnick that took the first blood. That was his first last hit.
Nice.
And he could really use it because he is not getting anything on this top
line. It's the best kind of last hit.
It's the best kind of last hit, most gold that you can think of, because Kuo is actually farming really decently here. He's highest on last hits at an ice, but tied up actually with the Naga Siren at the moment, so he's doing really well. But Funnick is not getting that much. He's level 2, almost level 3 right now. We compare that to the Nyx Assassin, and Forever is actually going to be sitting on level 3 and almost level 4 actually at this point.
Na'Vi doesn't have any sentries in the early game. That's a little bit strange for them, but they didn't actually have their creep camp blocked, and they will have this observer ward there, so that's a lot of the reason why 4F is able to get that level advantage.
Yeah, I actually did not introduce Na'Vi just yet, but let's just quickly go over them real fast. We have got a Vos playing Naga Siren. We already saw Kuroki getting the first rune with an Invis rune. We have got Dendi on the Tinker, who might be in some trouble, because talking about Invis runes, you can't get that. Is he gonna try for that? No, you can't. And he's actually in some trouble. Dendi is actually chasing him down. Grave comes out, teleport out. That's the smartest decision he can make. That was too close.
A lot of wasted time for them. That's a bold move. That takes maybe 4 hits to kill the courier.
Yeah, especially at this level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a nice attempt though. trying to make things happen. I can get on board with these supports. They're not just playing super passively, which I think is the wrong idea versus Na'Vi, especially with a Naga in the game. You don't want Naga to get farmed.
True.
And she's doing decently. Check out her OCS. He is number 1, 30 and 11 on him. Well, I guess tied with Luna, but Luna has a ton of denies, so that's probably why Funnick's so low on XP.
Yeah, he's struggling. I wouldn't mind seeing him rotate a little bit more, but then again, what can he really do at this point?
He needs level 6, I think, before he can rotate effectively. Well, they don't need to rotate though. Dendy just needs his BOTs and just needs to buy time for Naga's Iron. Puck is actually not that important here. If he doesn't get a blink, it's not the end of the world. He will get it eventually, and I think Dendy is enough to hold it off. They have a triple stack right here, and this should be the main priority for MVP. I don't think they can allow this ancient stacking to be going on. A lot of the games that we've seen earlier today, Empire versus Rock's Kiss, DK versus whomever they played, they've just been constantly warding the Ancients just so that they can't get that income. And MVP, they haven't even made a move towards it, and this is to be expected as a Radiant Tinker.
Yeah, and MVP hasn't put any effort into stacking their own Ancients. Perhaps, I mean, Luna is a good hero to take down Ancients herself, so perhaps they find a chance to steal. It's difficult to do against a Tinker because Tinker is going to be ready earlier to take that stack.
Yeah, they had the right idea with the early movements, maybe Dazzle pressuring mid a little bit, Heen trying to kill A for the first blood, then he gets doomed out in mid.
Oh, getting chased up. I don't think that March can get the kill though.
That is so aggressive.
Yeah, in the meantime, Puppy, or sorry, Rev has got some issues. Puppy get impaled right there, but this is going to be a kill right here. Easily done, nicely set up. Cold Feet proc, and I mean, movement across the map. There was a push on top as well. They couldn't get Funnick, but they did do some damage to the tower. Not as much as they were probably hoping they would, but on all 3 lanes, action at the same time, trying to make something happen, and only bottom lane gets a kill going the way of Na'Vi.
Yeah, very nice creep positioning by Funnick too. The creep wave was over here, and they can't tank the tower. I think if they try to zone him out a little bit better, then Funnick couldn't drag the creep wave over there, and they could get a lot more damage on the tower. But as it stands, Na'Vi wasn't even forced to use the glyph, so everything going with Navi's way the early game, 1,500 gold lead for them, and a lot of it is just waiting for this big ancient stack. It is triple, is it triple dragon or double dragon? Double dragon. That's a lot of gold. Dragon. That's pretty much his BOTs if he takes it out right now.
Well, he could. He's got a level 4 on March. March of the Machines, that is.
Oh. Yep.
Wow, didn't even know I could do that. But March himself, by the way, he just used his first Doom, kind of a waste, didn't get anything off of it. He actually dove the tower, so he didn't actually get any extra last hits from it as well. He'll be forced back to base because he's out of mana, no courier.
He wasn't even close to killing. He had like 500 HP at the end of the Doom. Like, I mean, it's a relatively low cooldown for how powerful the ultimate is. It is only 100 seconds, but ideally you'd be at least able to threaten a kill. Then he just straight up walk back to lane after it.
And he could. As another push comes out for top. Again though, creep wave is again pulled back. And so
this slows him down so much. And they have to tank the tower as a result, and he can just use glyph, and it's going to be at least one more wave, and he didn't have to use a glyph. That's the thing. They've had 3 heroes up here for like a good 2 or 3 minutes, and Funnick is just getting even more XP than he was before. He's sitting at 16 last hits now.
Yeah, if we compare that to earlier on, he is really doing very well, and those pushes have been helping him out a lot. And then we compare that to Rev, who is also still at level 6, so basically he was almost he was more than a level ahead, and now he is evened up, so he got dropped back a lot, as we have got a bit of aggression coming out here on the top lane.
Kuroki already has a point booster. What the heck? Does he get this form?
Well, he got a kill. He got the kill on the
That's true. Well, Dendy does have a haste rune. Let's see if he makes a move. Doom is up again, but no supports in sight. I think they just kind of ditch top lane and just let QO get all that farm. Right, he does have an HOD.
This is true, but right now there were a couple of supports showing themselves on top, so perhaps they're there just to cover if they want to make a go on Luna, protect him. Those supports have already left though, and there is actually only one word up for MVP. They really have no idea what Na'Vi is up to at this point, or what the supports are up to more than anything.
They need smoke ganks.
I am surprised that you say that. First of all, they just purchased 2 smoke ganks.
They needed it a while ago, I think. It's a little bit too late. Like, Tinker is so close to his BOTs, and if you can't put any pressure on a Tinker before his BOTs, you're going to be in for a really rough mid-game. They don't even have that strong a push. Like, Luna is decent, and Dazzle is decent, but March of the Machines is absurdly strong. And on top of that, they've uninterrupted farm on her bows. Almost 3,000 gold, 64 CS, 9 minutes in. Not to best, but still good enough to threaten the Radiance coming out at like 16, 17 minutes.
Well, we'll see if March and he can make something happen here, because they have smoked up and they're moving towards Funnick. If they can get a Doom off disruption, maybe. Because if they want to try and take
circling around for Ancients, but look at their position. They're not there together. His smoke got popped, but they only found an AA. They need to be on the same page here.
And Nick's Assassin is actually on the wrong side. He
on top lane, there's a double Dream Coil.
Let's see if Funnick can make a play here. We're going to have a silence, and that's already going to be dazzled. And Eclipse comes out. It's going to be 2 kills going the way of MVP. Still the march of the machine, so Dendy making the plays, gets a kill on the Luna. Dendy himself might not have lived, but got a return kill. Ended up being a 2 for 2.
Well, he bought his BOTs right before too, so that's a big loss for MVP.
Yeah, losing that Luna, basically their hero to be keeping themselves in the game. Even getting two cores of Na'Vi in return is not enough for one of those Luna kills. And
he has his BOTs before the first T1 has been taken down. So I don't really see MVP being able to take down that many towers unless 4Ev gets a really clutch gank on Tinker. I think he just went mid, but there's no one there to kill it. And even if he kills a hero, it's not an important hero. It's going to be AA or Visage more likely than not. They really need to start killing Tinker a ton. He almost has a soul ring already, and this is before the Ancient stack too. And you can see Na'Vi, they're really intent on securing this for Dendy.
Yeah. And right now, I like what they're doing as well. They're giving Kuroki bottom lane to get some experience. He is already level 6, so he has got his familiars, but just wants to make some extra gold here. And mid lane, Puppey is getting some more experience, which he really needs, because he is on a level 5 right now. But
Na'Vi's really good about doing this, is rotating their core heroes out so that their supports can get level 6 ASAP.
Oh,
4Ev may get a kill on Kuroki.
Well, they're trying, and Kuroki is in trouble, and Pale will miss, though. And this could actually be going very bad for MVP. Denny coming in, rockets flying left and right. Spike Carapace already used. 4Ev in some trouble, will be able to make it out alive. More rockets to chase them down, but there won't be a kill. We actually have all 5 heroes of MVP Phoenix sitting on this bottom lane, so if they would lose a fight here, that would be disastrous. But I mean, they move 5 and they don't get anything in return. Actually, Kuroki still ended up dying. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, but it's just a support Visage. They're rotating 5 heroes for a support Visage kill. And think about it, Naga Siren almost has her relic, 3,600 gold. She's pretty much been completely uncontested this entire game, and now they'll make a 5-man push, but you can't 5-man push versus Tinker. He's just going to spam March. He's already in position to do so. So I don't even think they can touch this tower. They might get like 100 damage on it, but only Tinker needs to be there too.
Oh, and he is here. I mean, right now, you've got ourselves on a Na'Vi. 2 core heroes have free farmed. And then you've got for MVP 1 hero as free farmed, Luna, and he has already been shut down. He's already died once. He is behind on net worth compared to the other 2 cores. I mean, I would say MVP at this point has lost their laning stage. For sure. How are they going to get back into this game? How are they going to...
I'm not exactly sure. We saw another matchup earlier in the tournament where there was a Naga versus a Luna, and Naga just straight up dominated the Luna in the mid game. It was Lotus.
Naga might be in some trouble, but Song comes out. And this is going to be Na'Vi's time. This is going to be exactly what you said. Double march of the machines coming out. Disruption comes out straight away, protecting some of the march there. Rising in some trouble, gets a Grave on himself. He will get picked up, though, but perhaps they can get a vote. They can get a vote. They will lose their Shadow Demon, their Nyx Assassin, their Dazzle. It is just March alive right here. The Luna is trying to get something on bottom lane, and March is running for his life with that Scorched Earth. Extra movement speed for him. They got 1 kill, they lost 3. They do not want to lose 4, and it looks like they're going to get their way because Phase Boots and Scorched Earth gets March away.
So another very poor trade for them. Naga Siren post buying of Relic, and they traded 3 in return. And Tinker can also TP on the Visage Birds. That's something that we've seen occasionally, but he just has so much mobility. He can be anywhere, anytime. Usually it's like you can be close to anywhere, anytime. With the BOTs, just TP on creeps, but with Visage Familiars, you can position yourself so well in these team fights.
It's crazy. We have actually an Ancient stack going out for MVP, so Kuo will get some extra farm here, which he really needs. I wouldn't mind seeing a BKB on him, even though it wouldn't help him all the way, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the problem.
something.
How do you itemize QO right now?
Yeah.
If he goes for BKB, he gets netted. He can still get slept and focused down. He can still take a lot of damage from AA ultimate, or sorry, not AA ultimate, from March of Machines, as well as Visit Familiars. So I actually think.
But can you really go without a BKB in this case? Because there's so many other things that you want to still block.
I think you just have to get super farmed, like Yasha, Butterfly, BKB. I think you need one more farming item though, because this is right before Naga Siren has her relic too, or has her radiance, right? So whatever item she gets right now, whether it's a BKB or they're not going to be able to take towers. There's no single item that can force Navi to be in a bad position when defending their T1. So I think because of that, you have to go the other route, which is taking it even a little bit later, making your farm even more efficient than it already is, and just going for more damage. Looks like they will give it T1 on top. The most unimportant tower for Navi, and it was already really low.
Yeah, they will get the fortification out of it, so I guess that is something, just in case they want to make a go on bottom lane at some point as well. 14 minutes in, and Navi get themselves a gem already, so they already want to try to choke MVP, or at least get that map control on their end. And that is so smart. I mean, there is the Luna that you talked about has to get super farmed. Then you've got Doom that needs a lot of gold as well. And Nyx Assassin, if you don't get him some extra gold, he is going to be just a support Nyx Assassin, and you can't really have that. If you put him on the off lane, you want to give him some more farm priority. But that farming space is going to get very small real soon. So far, no towers down just yet on the side of MVP, but I don't think it will take too long once that Naga Siren finishes up her Radiance.
Ideally, MVP would have been able to like get a kill on one of these two lanes and then transition that into a tower kill. Right now, their movement around the map is just so inefficient. The last kill that they got, I believe, was like right here, not the ideal place for them to take a fight. And then the one on Kiroki was on bottom next to T1. They need to be able to pick people off in the jungle where Naga and Tinker are more likely to be able to farm, or even just pick off Tinker in the lane. But with only Nyx Assassin there, it's very difficult for him to find a good opening. Like, look at where Forev is right now. He can't scout. He's always scared, and they need to be the ones that are on the aggressive, not Navi.
Well, Nyx Assassin, I wouldn't hope for him to be aggressive.
That's a Radiance. 16 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That is damn scary. Dream Coil actually coming out for Heen. Maybe a bit of a...
the zoning Dream Coil.
Yeah, zoning Dream Coil, panic Dream Coil, but at least... Oh, actually, they're still going to go into the jungle. Why not? Let's see if they can find someone. One Disruption can set something up, but they'll fight into a Naga Siren with the Radiance.
See, look at where they're taking fights. This is not where you need to take fights as a Nyx Assassin, not in between the T1 and the T2. You just need to be able to pick them off to translate that into a push. Looks like March diving deep.
Yeah, he's going to find Kiroki. There's a Tinker coming into the Familiars, though. Let's see, March and the Machine's coming out. That's already Shadow even picked up. March still gets Kiroki, so that's nice. But in comes, actually, Eclipse, and Phonic is sitting in the trees. They can't see him. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the end, or is it, Dendy? Careful there. Lose a beam. Song of Voe, savior of the day. March and the Machine is being put on. They gotta fight this. They want to fight this. Funnikin as well gets a silence off. Forev, Kuo, both will get picked off right here, trying to do what he can before he dies, but they will die. Looks like March will be the last sole survivor once again, and he runs behind Tier 1 tower. He's safe there, but
this is the beginning of the end. The core items on Navi has come up too fast. They have the 16-minute Naga Radiance, they have the Blink and BOTs on Tinker, and the damage has been done. MVP's early game was not good enough to stop this, and now they're in this terrible position where if they push, they'll get wrecked by Tinker and Naga like we just saw, and if they don't push, Naga and Tinker are just going to get massive, and Luna just can't compete. She did go for a Yasha, but their support just did not get enough accomplished.
Yeah, I would actually say, like, Doom, he has a Blink Dagger as his first real item after Drums and Phase. Would you like, I personally would have liked to see Shadow Blade instead, because we were talking about what Nyx Assassin can do, and okay, I know there's a gem now up on Navi, so that's already countered, but they do need to get picked. That's their way to get about this game.
I agree. I think Shadow Blade is a little bit better in this particular situation because it's going to be Puck carrying the gem. Like, Naga Siren and Tinker are still a little bit vulnerable, and ideally it would have come out a little bit earlier, like phase Bottle into a Shadow Blade so they can get the pressure before those core items come out. But now that the core items that have come out, I don't actually think it matters that much unless Navi makes big mistakes.
Yeah, so they can maybe get a tag team.
An ultimate orb. Yeah. Like, what in the world?
I mean, the difference in net worth is not even that big.
It's on the important heroes, though, is the thing.
Now, Luna, you already mentioned, like, she needs a lot of farm, and these rockets, They're just zoning MVP out. Roshan might be on the menu soon for Na'Vi, Radiant side or not.
There's no pressure on the map on the important heroes. The supports, yeah, they're like a little bit scared of their life, and yeah, they might get picked off by a Doom here and there, by a Nyx, by a Eclipse, but the really important heroes are just under no threat. Dandy like almost died on bottom, but Havos was there to back him up, and even if he doesn't, they can still clean up 3 or 4 heroes, including QO. They will take out this ancient stack. Gold and experience lead, as you said, not that big of a difference, but momentum is completely in Na'Vi's favor.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. One thing though, Na'Vi have basically mostly played reactive Dota. They've been reacting to what MVP was doing, not necessarily really going all aggressive on their own. When do you think that's going to change? When are they going to say, okay, you know, we're ready, we're going to fight, we're going to maybe 5/4 man and push and actually take down some towers, which they haven't done yet this game?
When Naga gets her 3rd item, so Radiance, BOTs, and then the next item, Heart or Manta, and then after that they can just put so much pressure on MVP because Naga will be almost able to solo the supports and probably Lunar on their own. Right now she's still too weak, but that's just going to happen in like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and Tinker's going to have his cycle and maybe like 6 or 7 minutes, and once those 2 items come out, it's just, well, I think Doom might actually die here. Nope.
Nah, it's only level 1 of the Ice Blast as well. Puppy's still level 7. He's actually kind of on their level, I'd say. Sitting at the lowest level in the game, together with the Shadow Demon, I guess.
It's a smart move by MVP for going for the Roshan, though. They know that Na'Vi's playing reactive Dota, as you said, and that's just not a position that they want to fight, and Na'Vi wants to play on their side of the map. Every single engagement that MVP has taken has been on their side of the map thus far, and Na'Vi's smart enough not to overextend into that sort of position where Tinker has to be out in the open, perhaps gets Dune, perhaps even just gets Nyx Carapace into a Impale. I'm actually surprised that he did go for the max Mana Burn instead of the max Spike Carapace. I think Spike Carapace is extremely important in locking him down because they don't really have any stuns, and Nyx Spike Carapace is very reliable against Tinker. Just walk in March, no problem, or Tinker Rocket.
Oh, it looks like MVP wants to make something happen with the Aegis that they picked up. They are moving to bottom with only 3 of their heroes though. It's already welcome committing with some marching machines being stamped out by Dendy. In the meantime, mid tower does go down. There was only 2 people defending that for MVP, so Funny gets himself a tower. We are going to see Kuo going on Kuroki, but that Gravekeeper's Cloak, like that Lucent Beam, it just tickles a little bit. That's all. Oh, trouble for MVP. March jumps himself on the Centaur, gets a Doom up on Puck, needs some backup though, needs some extra damage, and he might get that. He's actually chasing him down, should be able to get the kill. Sleep, oh, gets out from the sleep. Naga Siren gets picked up by the Shadow Demon. We're following Funnick though, and Funnick is the one to die. Getting Havos down, he could only follow one of those.
He also lost a gem. I have no idea what he was doing in this position. They saw 3 of the heroes, Kuro scouted him out, and he was still farming right here with almost no HP and no mana. And their strength is fighting at towers, fighting when they're fighting under March, maybe initiating on Song of the Siren, but MVP with the moves, I think that was just out of position by Na'Vi, but well played MVP Phoenix, capitalizing on that.
Yeah, very nice. They actually took a tower off the back of it, so that was what you said earlier. Take a fight, take a tower, get some control back.
They have to get this tower now. This tower is just so important. It's going to delay the game so much longer if they can't take it down.
Well, Denny is already landing some marches here. This is... We already have an Aghanim for Kuroki. March is in trouble. March will get Creed though for the moment. He's still going for Kuroki. Eclipse comes out from Cool as well. They get Kuro. Verbose at least gets a Shadow Demon, but he's in some trouble himself. Might have the Radiance. Oh, that ailed. Will at least burn away the Aegis. Kuro is about to come up though, but he is surrounded by enemy heroes. He's going to try to run. I don't think he can. Too much damage coming out. He'll get picked up. March already teleported himself out, knowing that his teammate was not going to make it out alive, and they do not take that tower.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Kuro finds his farm, because they're obviously prioritizing farm on Naga and Tinker. They have the most CS in the game right now, but Kuro with only 60 CS has his scepter completed at like roughly 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
It is crazy indeed. And Puppy usually actually does not go for scepter on AA, usually like a mech or 4-staff, but he actually does not prioritize it on AA like a lot of other teams do, and because of that he can let Kuro get it. I think the Kuro upgrade on scepter is much more important on it, especially in this particular game. They don't really need AA ultimates.
Well, you said that Naga, or Na'Vi rather, oh careful, that's a dead Dazzle right there. Perez trying to do what he can, but also he's in trouble. He'll get picked up as well. That is another 2 kills added to the board for Na'Vi, and they can actually continue pushing here. I mean, they have the Yasha ready for the Naga Siren, so the start of the Manta style is already there. But
and Dendy has a sheep. That's his. It's very close to game.
Jumps forward, already sheeps up Peen, but it's Kuo that actually comes in. Kuo, who has got his own Manta style as well as his damage item, is at least able to defend the tower. Looks like Na'Vi is actually thinking about back. Oh, is it a fake back?
They can easily initiate with sleep if they want to. Both does have mana for it.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna try. They're not gonna do anything else. March gets himself an illusion rune. No, I was gonna say he's actually not sure if he's gonna continue on.
Oh, he might die to the spam, the A ultimate plus the rockets.
Dire's bottom tower.
Grave, maybe. There it is, but yeah, he'll live.
Wow, what's that song the siren for? Well, guess it's just to be safe. It is level 15, or he is level 15, so level 2 Naga Siren ultimate. No harm, no foul. They don't need to force the issue, though. They can still take you late. Naga Siren still has 3 more slots after Radiance BOT's Manta. Tinker still has 3 more slots after Blink BOT's Scythe Device, so they still have a lot of room to grow, and their farming pace is just going to outclass MVP's by far, even with his Ancient stack.
Well, with quick timing, Na'Vi has taken out all the tier 1 towers on the map instead of MVP. That made the gold grab really go in favor of Na'Vi, even though it was already in their favor, of course. Experience grab also starts to be getting kind of out of control in favor of Na'Vi. However, I mean, we just saw also MVP making a good movement in mid lane. They lost their advantage on bottom lane afterwards, but there's some good plays being done by them. What did they have to do to make sure that death bowl that Na'Vi will have soon is going to stop?
They still need to get kills. Like this opportunity that they had right here where they killed the Puck and the Naga Siren, they need engagements like that. Get 2-0 engagements, quickly back off, get super stacked on Luna. Looks like she is going for a Satanic after that, but that was kind of Na'Vi presenting their, like giving them an opportunity. I think MVP needs to try and create opportunities of their own with the Nyx Assassin and the Dude. They both have Blink Daggers, they can't find initiates. Looks like March has gone for a Blade Mail. Blade Mail in theory is very nice for his Tinker, but if it's only one Blade Mail, it's not going to do that much. It's not going to be able to kill him, and generally it's better when you're ahead rather than behind.
Well, and talking about that, well, we have Shadow Demon actually looking to, like, he looks like he's going to build a Necronomicon, but I'm not really convinced that he should be doing that. So I'm hoping it's maybe a mixture of, you know, 4 staff,
4-step treads?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, Necrobook's going to be... It's literally going to do nothing. Especially Necro 1.
It's going to feed...
He can't farm Necro 3.
No, it won't have the gold.
So now MVP's in this position where all the lanes are being pushed out. Top lane, we see Kuro pushing out with the birds. They could easily rotate Havosin and push out with the Naga Radiant solutions. Bottom lane, Dendy was pushing out with Tinker. So MVP just can't find any breathing room. And if they know that none of the lanes are being pushed out by MVP, they know that they're obviously ganking with either Doom or Nyx, or trying to 5-man. Looks like they're trying to 5-man bottom, but Dendy's already there.
Yeah, March of the Machine's incoming. He's hiding in the trees. Maybe they'll get the tower. There is a fortification now, so perhaps Na'Vi wants to try and fight. Never mind, that goes way too fast with that Manta style of Kuro coming out. Looks like it's going to be a tower trade though, because they'll lose their tier 2 on the top lane with the fortification already used on it.
So 27 minutes, MVP took these 2 most important towers down. They really needed them earlier, but at least they got them now. Better late than never. And now they're threatening T3. They have to back. They can't let Naga push their base this early.
That's already going to happen later on with those illusions getting fatter and fatter. I mean, the Manta style is there. He's already...
Tinker might be TPing in.
Oh, forever. No, Denny blinks away for the moment. Just March the Machine, just keeping those lanes pushed out. I mean, this is just annoying to deal with, even if they would have a solid way of fighting.
Look at Kuro in mid, too. Like, they can't do anything against this. They don't have the mobility, and they... Na'Vi just has too many items too, so MVP is just in a really tough place right now. They need to get more farm. Kyo has been doing a very good job of constantly taking out the Ancient stack, but even looking at net worth, he's still number 3. He's been constantly doing the Ancient stacks too. Very vigilant about it.
He has a Satanic. It's I think it's a decent item to have, but I'm not sure if I would pick it up before the BKB, because even though we already mentioned like what else could happen when he has a BKB on, he's still not going to be involved on a roll. But yeah, no BKB. Feels kind of...
Satanic's a little weak versus AA too.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And by little, I mean very weak.
I mean, it doesn't do anything.
Well,
when you get hit by the Ice Blast, that is.
Maybe they can like dodge it with some sick disruption plays, but as it stands right now, Na'Vi in a very commanding lead. Barring any huge mistakes, like Na'Vi can easily control most parts of the game. They can split push out so that MVP can't really do anything. They can pick up a gem when it cools down. I don't know if it's cooled down yet. They have another gem on Puck, so they can just use that winner. I don't actually know if that was his old gem, but regardless, they can control Roshan too, and they have the late game. So Na'Vi, they don't really feel any pressure.
No, they're just doing their own thing, dodging fights as they go, which is something that MVP Phoenix is going to be sad about because they kind of need to fight. Better yet, they probably just need to fight and hope that Na'Vi makes some mistakes while those fights happen as well. They will now have a BKB for the Doom, so that might help them be a little bit more aggressive. They don't have any easy towers to take down anymore. Tier 2s is going to be the next option, but I guess for that they need some extra vision, and right now they are playing on an absolute almost pitch black map. I like the observer word that they placed, but it's the only word that is up on the map.
Wow.
Scouting out Dandy,
what
perhaps.
in the heck?
Yep. It's the most useful.
It's a nice idea.
Yeah.
See, now, Na'Vi just has so much information because all 3 lanes are being pushed out.
Yeah.
So if MVP has to push the lanes out, or they're just going to get threatened by the T3 like Avos was just doing, they scattered out with Naga Illusions. They know exactly what MVP is doing almost at all times. Whereas MVP just doesn't really know where Na'Vi is.
And they're just choking MVP Phoenix to death, and it's a slow and painful death.
Yes, it is.
It's excruciating, and MVP Phoenix, I mean, you can feel the frustration from them almost through the screen here, because they want to do something, they want to fight, but they just don't have any place to go, because everywhere they go, someone of Na'Vi is going to be, and they might be getting caught out, they might not be able to fight. We see them drawing across the map, seeing where they could be going, but the moment that they do, rotations come from Na'Vi and they're forced somewhere else. Perhaps they can make something happen here. No, never mind, Denny's already blinked out.
The thing is, Na'Vi can always choose good engagements, whereas MVP cannot. If Na'Vi think it's a bad engagement, they'll just blink out with Tinker, they'll blink out with Puck, or they'll Song if things are really bad. Oh, Funny gets caught out.
Oh, they might be getting him, dooming him up.
That's another gem.
And that's actually really important. Hey, Ult will still fly out. March is still sitting on a high ground, but his blink will be off cooldown very shortly, so he'll be able to get out.
Or will it? Oh, I thought the March was about to hit. But now Naga threatening the T3 on top again. They've kind of just thrown away both of these gems, but those are relatively small mistakes on the grand scheme of things.
You want to give them some hope. I don't blame them. Deadly, what are you doing there? Blinking away. Perez in the Vendetta. He's sitting at level 13, so he's got his level 2 Vendetta, but he still cannot do anything with it. Now that they know they have another gem from Na'Vi, though, do you think that we're going to see some more aggression from 4F? Because really, the Nyx Assassin pick in this game hasn't really paid off at all.
I would hope so, but at the same time, they still can't. Yeah, the same problems are still there, which is they're scouting with Illusion. Gem doesn't do anything versus that. Their lanes are being pushed out. Gem also does nothing versus that. So it's nice. It's a nice pickup, but doesn't actually fix the problem that MVP is having right now, which is they can't get outside of their base.
Yeah, that sounds also really terrible. Perhaps it would be better for MVP that Na'Vi was actually going to try to go for some 5-man pushes, because then they have got some chance, because they have got a decent fighting lineup. They've got the Dazzle, they've got the Luna, who's quite farmed. I mean, she's still, of course, below the Naga, below the Tinker, but she's farming her heart out right now.
She can just get permahex, though. Like, what can she do versus that?
She can build her BKB. She just needs the recipe, and then she has it.
Yeah, but at the same time, they can just disengage. That's the big problem that I see. They can't actually force Na'Vi into a bad position. They haven't been able to do so for the last 20 minutes. Now Naga has her heart in just, she has it right now if she wants to buy it.
That's an illusion. It's nice to create Naga Siren illusions. You get your own Radiance Aura right there. But Na'Vi know that this is happening, know that the Roshan is being attempted, and they might try to take it for themselves. Dream Coil?
The big whiff.
The big whiff? What was that?
He tried to get on the Nyx Assassin, but well, A ultimate is cooling down in 4 seconds. Naga Siren, see, her illusions are right there. They can't do anything versus them. They're forced to back off just against a mere Naga illusion. So imagine if all 5 heroes are actually there in the fight, and this is before Heart.
Yeah, and then one extra problem comes. I mean, if the fight goes long enough, we already see Ryzen before they actually fight. He's already down to 400 mana, and he's not going to be able to
needs a heart right now. I think he just like goes over here and cuts a tree and gets on his heart. I think he needs it in this fight.
Oh, Perev showing. Oh, might be a bit risky. He's trying to bait something out, perhaps. Good, though. Coming in from the side. Want to go for Poppy there. Lose a beam. Already hitting Poppy, running away, but Song comes out and most. Is he going to try to make plays? Are they going to try to fight? Where's the marching machines? There they are. He's separating. He'll be flying in as well. That's going gonna be Kuo pumping his Eclipse, looking for a kill. Dazzle is the first one to go down here. Kuroki force back March, puts on the blade, no, but that's not gonna stop him from those right clicks from Dendy, dominating for him right now. And he got a dominating streak off of the Doom as well, as we see Kuo getting picked up, bumping himself, still going down to Parev. But Parev, out of mana, nice by Carapace to get rid of that Avos Radiance Burn, and Avos can't really chase too much out of it because he's fairly low. Shadow Demon, oh my god, that was burns! That's gonna be another kill. Kuroki gets that one. He get a triple kill in that fight, and they only got an ancient Inspiration in return.
Things are looking bad for MVP
Oh,
Phoenix.
they're looking horrible for MVP Phoenix.
The Starlighter run is gonna end soon. But in all 4 games that they played, it was just not bad. It was a better showing from the Korean team than I expected.
Do you feel like you've seen now all 4 games, you've casted all 4 games, do you feel like they've grown amongst those games?
No, but I think that they improved. From game 1, they were much better than expected. So still overall their play was much higher than expected, but they've been running. I think the games that I wouldn't say they've like improved that much. It's very difficult to improve in that short of a time span, especially when you're playing against so many different teams.
Oh,
Row.
Wow, March coming in. They have a Doom. They're gonna try to go for him. The Impale comes out as well. Do they have enough damage? It's a hard Nagasari, but it looks like it's enough. Buyback instantly coming out from Avos. He has got those boots of travels, and we'll make use of it to. Oh, is he going to mid?
They want to end the game.
They want to end the game. Want to have some rest. Maybe. Oh, poor Kuo. He was so close to his BKB before that fight started. I mean, it was a pretty one-sided fight regardless, but I think maybe if Luna had that BKB, they would have a chance.
Yeah.
And now they just.
But only because Nagasari didn't have heart. She had money for it, but now that she has it, it's.
She's actually already in the base of MVP. Oh well, why not? Going for the tier 3 right here, Kuo. That's not a hero that you want to have a man fight with. They're going to try to go for a man fight though. I don't think they should. In mid lane, in the meantime, BKB's popped. There's already a range Rex dead. And that is going to be... they're not backing up. Never mind that.
The end is nigh.
The end is nigh indeed. And in the meantime, Dendy constantly teleporting in and out, getting those marginal machines going. And oh, jump in by Funnick. Dream Coil on 3. Funnick will die though. I mean, he's done this before. It is going to be an Impale coming out. Song, so they can only hit on the BKB hero, and Snare coming out as well. He's still stuck in Luna. Now the BKB wears out, saving him life for a little while longer, but he'll still get picked up. Mars, Hank stuff. Damage coming out as well. He'll go down. That's going to be another kill, double kill for both. They also pick up the Shadow Demon. It's a team wipe. And that is your GG. Na'Vi, they'll be the ones to face IG in the next round of the loser bracket, while MVP Phoenix is the second team to be sent home today for the loser bracket.
Admiral Rondo, my fault.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Na'Vi play very calm, calculated strategy. It's not their forte. I view them more as aggressive lineup. Havos loves getting kills, and he overextended a little bit, but still, it's nice to have this sort of tool in your arsenal. Being able to run Nagasari. They ran it mid for Dendy, they ran it safely in this game, and being able to use Tinker in this sort of manner is also very good. So they have this like dual core that's super, super threatening late game.
It was a bit scary because it was also maybe a bit passive, and I wonder how that goes against IG.
Yes.
Now,